it's Bernadette. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's mini practice, we are going to focus on stretching and strengthening the low back and also doing some stabilizing around the sacrum. So really good if you sit all day or if you travel a lot, or even if you just have kind of a nagging ache there in the low back and around the hips. This one will be really useful today. So we're going to begin in tabletop. So come to tabletop, and we always want to stack joints. So have your wrists beneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips. We're just going to start with a very gentle and simple stretch for the low back. So as you inhale, drop back on the hands and lift your chest, and you can draw your shoulders back a little bit. And then as you exhale, gently tighten the belly and shift back towards your heels. And we'll do that 3 more times. So inhale, pull back on the hands and lift your chest. And then exhale, belly draws in as we bend the elbows and shift back towards the heels, dropping the head towards the ground as well. Go ahead and do 2 more, and we always want to use the pacing of our breathing. So make sure that your movement is synced up within the pace of your breathing. And we'll do 1 more round here. Inhale, come on up. And exhale and shift back. Good. Pause and rest a moment. And then when you're ready, we're going to rock forward and come onto our bellies. So come onto your belly and have your hands resting underneath your shoulders. And as we come up into this next posture, we always just want to make sure that we're not using the hands to press us up. So we're going to practice Bhujangasana with a little bit of adaptation. But just make sure that rather than using your hands to press you up, like you can kind of see there, we always want to be using our back muscles. So if anything, you're kind of pulling back on the hands a little bit. I'm exaggerating right now. Pulling back on the hands a little bit to help you lift your chest forward and up, so that you can find a nice long back bend here using the strength of your back. So start on the ground with your forehead down and your hands underneath your shoulders, and have your feet very close together. So they don't have to necessarily be touching, but maybe just like the tiniest bit of space between your feet and your legs. As you inhale, draw back on the hands and lift your chest. And then exhale and lower down, relax. 1 more like that. Inhale and lift your chest. And exhale, relax. Now we're going to take our feet a little bit wider. So scoot your feet a little bit wider so that they're maybe about hips width apart. And we'll do 2 more there. Inhale, draw back on the hands and lift your chest. Exhale, lower down. Inhale and lift, squeeze it up. Exhale and lower. And then this time take your feet even wider. So just a couple more inches between your feet. Maybe almost like mat's width if you're on a yoga mat. A little bit wider than hips. And we'll do 2 like that. So inhale, come on up. Notice if it feels like it's working a different place of your back or your legs or your hips. And then exhale, lower down. And 1 more like that. Inhale, squeeze it up. Make sure you're not pressing with your hands. And exhale, relax. Good. Now just scoot your feet so that your legs are sort of back in neutral. So a little bit closer together than the widest position. And rest for a moment. You can rest your face in your hands. Let your back rest. Let your back settle. Okay. And then we'll finish up with a couple more rounds of Chakravarkasana to stretch it out since we had our back do some work. So come to tabletop. So we'll do 4 together of these, and then if you ever feel like you need more, you're always welcome to add on a few more repetitions, like do 6 or 8. So as you inhale, draw back on the hands, lift your chest, and then exhale. Take this first one a little bit slow so that you can just feel that stretch in your back. And then inhale, lead with your chest as you come up. Chest lifts, shoulders drop back. Exhale, rounding into the low back as you drop your head, bend your elbows, and shift back. And then like I said, we'll do 2 more together, and if you ever feel like it's useful for you to add a couple repetitions, then just pause me and do a bunch more. So last one together, inhaling, come up, and exhaling to shift back. And then one more time, just pause there and rest your back. Let your arms relax. And take one more breath. Good. And then when you're ready, walk your hands towards you, and we'll just meet back in a seated position. So I hope this has been useful for you to add a little bit of stretch and a little bit of strength for your low back today. And then also just that stabilization around the sacrum. So absolutely let me know how you feel in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this mini practice today. I'd love to have you for a yoga class. You can find out all that information on my website at bernadettesolar.com. Your first class is always free, so please reach out to me if you're interested. Thank you again for joining. I hope this has been super useful, and I will see you next time.